Hi, good afternoon. Welcome.
What's Kuwait like? Cool?
Hot, 52 degrees, very hot.
Wow, 52, huh? That's crazy.
Yes,
Yeah, but
very hot.
everything is air conditioned, so chalta hai na?
But isn't it the thought of burning?
A couple of
As
minutes
compared to
before you
your
joined, I was complaining about 42 degrees here in Ahmedabad.
okay. The rains haven't started, huh?
No,
I
not
heard Mumbai is having some rains.
Mumbai's been having some rains, yeah. That's what Bruce said.
Yeah, that's good.
It came, but it came late, and I believe something to do with the Adhik Mas that we had. And that's the reason why the Jyotishish said it will come after this date only.
There is a formation called El Nino, which actually takes away rains. It's a sort of a heat wave sort of situation, which is from the Pacific it comes in, and it's affecting India at the moment. So the rain clouds actually were building and they just disappeared due to this.
I think the same thing's happening all over.
A lot of places, yeah. Well, I think we have to be prepared for the global warming. It's no longer something which is we used to think it was I mean, a lot of people, not we, but I think a lot of people used to think it was only
Especially
imagination.
Mr. Trump. Especially Mr. Trump.
He still believes that, right?
He's a nutcase. We've got Parizad is in. Parizad, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Parizad. So, Rules, you are the boss, you have to tell me when to start.
We'll wait because Meena and Dr. Shubha, let's give them 2 more minutes because Meena is quite punctual. Unless she has an emergency at home, then she's looking after somebody in the hospital.
No, it's just a couple of minutes. So
Anyway, the ones who attended your lecture last Thursday were very happy.
what is it that you would like me to take today? Because my plan was to take into the other part of communications is body language. So I was planning to go a little more into depth into body language, the facial expression, gestures, and then I also have something on the actual. There are certain statements that you start with when you want to communicate. There are certain words which you start with which actually go under the subconscious mind. So if you want to slip thoughts through, so that's something. Once we finish the body language, if we have time, we could continue.
I think Jaldeep, let's start. These two will come in. I know that.
Okay. Cool. So I am sharing rights.
Volume is maximum.
Okay, so can you see my display? Yes, you can. So, oops. Okay. So, about body language, about communication. So, I'll actually ignore the topic because it's I've picked up a few modules from different trainings that I have. So, in terms of communication, how much of our communication is words? How much is the tone of our voice, the way we speak, that is, and the body language. So, anybody has any ideas about this? It's a very, very famous study by Albert Mehrabian, which was conducted quite a few years back. Any idea about it? When we say communication, we usually think it is words. But very surprisingly, words are only 7%. The words that we speak, the content of what we are speaking is only 7% of the entire communication that is taking place between two people in a face-to-face conversation. This is very important. It is in a face-to-face conversation. The pitch, the tone, the speed at which you talk, the volume, the intonation, if you are very rhythmic or if you are, taking pauses, that makes the other 38%. So these two together are about 45%, not yet half. And more than half is our body language, the non-verbal cues, the expressions on our faces, whether we are smiling or not, the eye contact that we make, our posture, the way we hold ourselves, the confidence that we project, all that adds up to about 55% of communication. Now, this comes as a huge surprise for somebody who hasn't, when they come across it for the first time. So, but it's true. Are you on with me? You can hear me, and I can continue, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So let me quickly go into body language, which is the most important. As we saw, it is 55%. So 55%, what exactly is it about body language? What are the components of body language? Why is it so very important? So let's try to understand that. So first of all, body language is a visual form, and as we all know, what we see is what we believe. So the visual form gives out the cues that our body, our eyes pick up, the subconscious cues that our brain picks up from what we see is extremely powerful. So that is why body language is a very powerful form of communication. So it is the way you look, the way you dress, the way you hold yourself, the way you carry yourself, the gestures that you are making, whether you are making, when you are holding tight or you are a little open, all these things, these are minor, the difference between these things could be about an inch or 2 inches, but they get picked up and they are very, very impactful. So body language is extremely important, and whatever we learn as a communication skills in terms of our verbal skills, what we are able to speak, body language can either add to that substantially or it can detract, it can take away from the way you speak. So if you are a very good orator, but if the body language is not right, you might actually miss out a lot, or vice versa. A poor orator but has a very good, powerful body language can actually be very impactful. So this is what we need to be aware of. Now, what are the components of body language? That one is appearance, the way we appear. The way when our personal hygiene also makes a big add. Do we have body odor, especially this is in physical. Whether we have combed our hair or not, whether appearance is unkempt or it is well groomed, if you are shaved or not. There's so many things. For the men, I think most of the audience is ladies here, so shaving is not something very critical. The grooming, the way we groom ourselves, the gestures, posture, movement, eye contact, facial expression, these are some of the most important components of body language. So we will go into each one of them one by one and we'll understand. Now, if you fell sick and you had to go to a doctor, which of these two people would you be more comfortable with, or you feel more confident about as your doctor?
The one with the white lab coat.
That's
It's a mental thing.
Yeah, so not even just the mental, but it's like this guy with a t-shirt and a tattoos and all. He's the same guy. We know he's the same guy. He's the same doctor. But if you see him in a appropriate or the appearance needs to give out confidence. So this guy on the left in the white lab coat is a guy who gives out a lot of confidence because he looks like a doctor. We have certain perceptions. So if a manager, there are guys who, the trends are changing gradually. Steve Jobs used to be always in a jeans and a t-shirt, and previously it was like managers have to be in suits and shirts and ties and things like that. So the norms are changing gradually, but still the way you carry yourself, the way you appear makes a big difference. I would be a little skeptical of a guy who comes with a lot of tattoos, and is he really a doctor, or where are his interests? So you start doubting. So appearance is very important. The image, as I say, a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. So I don't need to speak about it. You can see for yourself whom you trust. What about personal hygiene? I'm sure all of us at some point or the other in our lives, we must have come across somebody who looked as if he hadn't had a shower, or his hands, we were a little skeptical about, we weren't comfortable shaking hands because his hands appeared dirty, may not be hygienic. Some people who have not shaved for a long time, or the perfumes and the body odor is bad, and sometimes you find people who have got food stuck in their teeth after post lunch especially. So these are the things which we need to be aware about, that these things people will notice. Not everybody notices, but some people are a little more particular, they are more visual, they notice. And so this is obviously, without going that, I think most of us here are there, but we need to be aware of this, especially like, for example, for a person like me, I usually, when I'm at home, I don't really use perfumes. But when I go out, I need to make sure that I have a perfume and a deodorant. Thank you so much. I just got my evening chai. So these things are, I need to make sure, otherwise if I'm visiting somebody, because I need to be aware about that in the summer, gets a little sweaty, and then people do develop body odor. So we need to be aware about these things, and it is a part, because we are communicating through this. So if suppose I go somewhere very unkempt, without combing my hair, or in a very poorly dressed, or with body odor, or not looking good, it doesn't speak well, right? So these things are very important to be aware of. As I say, dress badly and they'll remember the clothes. Dress well and they remember the person. So that's something. If you see this guy, he's got a well-trimmed haircut, not really messy, big tufts of hair. He's clean-shaven. He's wearing a warm smile, that look of confidence, the body language. His body is open. He's reaching out to you for shaking hands. He's dressed well, with formally dressed. The posture is very erect, and the handshake usually, some people you will meet. This is especially more important for men, that the handshake needs to be firm. If you have a very limp handshake, it doesn't really give out something. For ladies, it's a little different, but even then, I would say that a very limp handshake is not really a sign of confidence. So these are the things which people unconsciously, it's not something that is conscious, but at an unconscious level, every move that we make, every appearance, whatever we do is registering in the person, and we are forming an opinion based on that. Same thing about women, whether they are, say, with a sort of an Indian dress or a Western dress. When you are in a formal setting, uh, no loud jewelry, no loud makeup, garish makeup, and all the hairstyles and all that stuff. So usually, for the weekends and for the parties and for your personal gatherings, but when we go for work, we need to be a little subdued. Nothing too loud or too glaring. No, nothing too glaring. Yeah, I mean, not too much of gold and flashy sandals and things like that also need to be avoided. We need to tone down in our appearance, because we want ourselves to be coming out. People should see us, not our clothes. And that's why it is important to be a little subdued in a formal setting, in a work setting. In a personal setting, it's our own choice. I mean, we could wear the loudest of stuff, whatever. That's within our friends. Friends usually won't be judging us. But in a formal setting, there are people who will be judging. So we need to be careful about this. Then comes the gestures. So what are the gestures or the arm movements that we have? Now, usually as a thumb rule, when we are talking in a body language, should be within our shoulders and within our arm's length. So we can't be making too loud like this. If wide sweeping hands is not really appropriate. When in a formal setting, we need to be talking this thing. If you're on stage, it's a little different. You can make wide sweeping decisions, but in a one-to-one or in a meeting or in a business setting, that's a little different. So again, here, what matters is the situation. That is critical. If you are in front of a large crowd of 1,000 people, and there you need to make a show. There, so I remember one of you was what's his Toastmaster. I remember you mentioned last time one of you was a Toastmaster. So was it Rohena? I think, yeah. Sure. So the body language on stage with a large audience is different, and when you're in a business meeting or in a one-to-one or with a few people or with say in a laboratory environment, if we are talking to patients or our colleagues or the doctors, we need to be a little different in the movement. Shouldn't be covering our mouth, because unconsciously, if we are afraid, if we are not confident of what we are saying, and it's our unconscious signal of our mouth, so we tend to cover our mouths when we are not confident about what we are saying. But the other person picks up. We have to be aware of our hand movements. It's very, very important. Don't put it in your pockets. I mean, these are standard things. When we are crossing our arms, it sometimes comes across as a sign of confidence, but more often than not, it's a defensive gesture. It's like, I'm closed. I don't want to listen to you. I'm not accepting what you are saying. So I'm closing mentally. The image, that impression that goes is, if I'm crossed my this thing is, if I'm crossed like this, I'm not open to you. If I'm listening to you like this. So normally it's always better to keep your hands on the sides, let it hang down. That is the best way. Putting in your pockets is, again, you're hiding something, or you're not confident, or you're nervous. Touching your nose is again a sign that you might be lying or not speaking the truth. So these are the things that body language, it's a whole science, and there are dozens and dozens of books on body language, very good books on body language. So I obviously can't take the entire gamut of it in this session, but something you should read and study about if you are really interested in improving your communications. The posture, the way we stand, hold ourselves, our body. Are we slouched? Are we erect? Or are we, not really a right posture? So we need to become aware. So look in the mirror. These things are important. So the way we carry ourselves, the way we hold ourselves is important part of communication. How we hold our body and our hands when we are talking, again, some people have this habit of swaying, they'll be swaying from one feet to the other. We call it in our trainers terminology, we call it the sailor syndrome. They are like on the sea, they are like swaying. That shouldn't be there. They should be very steady. The moment, if you're moving on this, like I'm talking about as a trainer, if you are on the stage, where you are moving on the stage, you have to anchor each part of the stage for a different part of your talk. So what message you're giving needs to be anchored. So there are a lot of unconscious things that are happening which we are not aware about when a person is speaking. But we need to be aware when we are talking. One thing I have seen very common in India especially is there are people who put their hands on their waist while they are listening or when they are talking or listening. Now that's again not a very appropriate sign, body language. So putting your hands on your waist is not something you need to be aware about your body language when you are talking and standing. Eye contact again, it's a sign of confidence. How much of eye contact should we make? It's usually, if you're on a one-to-one conversation with somebody, about 70% of the time is good confidence, below 50% is low confidence. So if you're not looking at the person while talking to them, that's a sign of less confidence. So when you are communicating with them, the impact of your words will be reduced if you are not able to look into their eyes when you are talking. At the same time, more than 80-90% is like staring, which is also not good. So you have to maintain a right. About 60 to 80% is a good thing that we look into people's eyes. And when you are on the stage or when you are talking to 3-4 people, that's not a problem, because you don't look at one person, you keep changing. You include everybody, make everybody feel included when you're talking. If you are talking to only one person, if you're looking only at one person and talking, the others sort of feel a little excluded from the conversation. So that's again not very good. So when you're talking, you have to look at different people, and if there are 3-4 people, you need to talk to them. Unless you deliberately want to make them feel excluded, then you keep looking at one person. Of course, there's a standard. Obvious, you don't keep looking at the floor or the ceiling for too long. Sometimes you do, but not so much. Don't roll your eyes. That's again not a good. We may not be aware of it. The other thing is where to look at the other person when you're talking. Now, if you're in a business conversation, you need to look at the person's eyes and a little above on the forehead. This is the triangle area that you look when you are in a business conversation. It's a formal discussion. It's not personal. It's not with when you are talking to colleagues or with patients or this thing. That is the area that you would look. When your gaze looks down, and if you are looking at the lower triangle, at the nose and the lips and the chin, that area, that is a more of a social gaze. That is more like with friends. That is considered okay with friends when you look at different, lower down. And if you're going further down, if you're looking at the chest or the belly or the legs or going below, that is only in a very, very intimate gaze. So when you're looking at somebody talking and you frequently eyes are talking down, that's only in an intimate relationship that you would do. These are things we need to be aware about. So start with a serene professional smile when you are meeting somebody, talking with somebody. We know the difference between a smile and a grin. Like, grin is when you are showing your teeth. You shouldn't be showing your teeth, but just a soft smile. The expression should be calm, composed, confident, direct. Facial expression should convey intent, seriousness, thoughtfulness, that you are concerned about what the other person is speaking. Not be appear very casual or be busy doing other things, because that's really, the worst thing you can do is when somebody is talking to you and you are on the phone or looking at the phone screen or the watch. If you look at your watch when somebody is talking to you, you are indirectly giving a signal to that person that, okay, I have other things to do. I'm not really interested. Your time is in, please go. That is an unconscious message we give. So we need to be a little aware about that. We can look at these different expressions. These are obviously a little exaggerated, but we can see that, right? Just by looking into expressions, even this is too exaggerated, but even a little frown on your face can be picked up by the other person very easily. So essentially, when we are talking about non-verbal communications, one is the words and one is the non-verbal. So if you're non-verbal, important to maintain eye contact, practice good posture, smile, especially when it's appropriate. Obviously, if it's a patient or somebody who is very unhappy and complaining, you definitely should not be smiling. But a soft, kind sort of little look is important at the time. Don't move around too much when you're talking. Try to be steady in your body language. The stand should be open. You should not be closed. If your arms are crossed or your legs are crossed, that is a sign that you are not open to receiving the information. You are not listening to them, or you are not interested in listening to the other person. So avoid that. Always keep an open stance. And keep nodding your head or making the other person, when somebody is talking, we need to keep acknowledging. We can't be completely like a statue. We need to keep nodding to make the other person, to acknowledge that we are listening to the person. So even when it's a lecture, when somebody is talking and there is an audience, you need to be give a little bit of feedback that, okay, yes, I understand, I'm catching you, I'm with you, I'm listening to you. So, what is your body language saying? Have you analyzed yourself? Have you seen yourself in the mirror? Have you got yourself video recorded when you are talking to people? It would be very interesting for you to understand, because these are things which we do unconsciously. We are not aware of it. So, any questions on this? I have another presentation for the words that we speak in terms of, because it's on communication, I thought that was important. So, anything about body language that you would like to say before we shift to the next topic?
May I talk, Dr. Jaldeep?
Yes, how are you?
May I talk?
Yes, of course.
Excellent presentation. An excellent presentation, up to the mark, where I learned so many things, like gazing constantly at one, which will actually create a picture on the other person कि ये मेरे को मारने वाला है, सुनने वाला है. So you have to have a loved eyesight, assuring the other person that you are absolutely okay. Second thing is that what you told about is putting the hands across. That also says कि चलो समझ में आया, आगे का क्या बोलना है बोलो, कंटाल गया मैं तुम्हें, तो बोलो, I'm listening. Yeah. And then looking to the ceiling, looking to the door, looking other way around. The other person is half crashed कि मैं इसको सामने से बोलूं कि नहीं.
True.
Another thing is that कि इधर देखना उधर देखना, that loses the interest in the other person कि क्या बोलूं मैं, क्या बोलूं तुझे. Another thing is that you should always have a loving eye contact. Loving eye contact. Because if you do not have a loving eye contact, if you have a harsh one, the other person really forgets what to say again. Because these are all scenarios which I have experienced. Actually, when I was going for presentations, the moment my earlier presenter was announced, I सोचती कि अरे वो so many years with ortho with Brish Candy, I used to feel कि अभी मेरा turn आना. So there is a big lump in your gut कि अभी मेरा turn आना है. I need to be ready enough. So the way the announcer also announces your name, gives a big applaud, introduces, these are all very, very important. So then another thing is that you feel the confidence. If you look at somebody quietly, yes, tell me, yes, I'm ready to listen to you. Yes, go ahead please. These are really the soft skills which makes others very happy, enthusiastic, and churns up his or her motto. They are really motivated. So please have a soft touch or soft eye contact. Do not use soft words. The announcer can also say, what we are introducing so and so. Give a big clap, give a big applaud, give a big praise. That actually boosts up others' mind. Okay, what can I talk? How can I talk? All these things are very nice presentation for the technician. Boss, please go ahead. And I would like that you would also have one or two or three presentations of this kind in your junior series also. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhansali. Thank you.
Jaldeep,
Yes. Yes.
you've got Rohina here and she's a Toastmaster. I'd like to know what exactly she does. I'm interested. Rohina, can you hear me?
I mean, the training they get is incredible. Rohina, go ahead, please.
Well, I am a Toastmaster since 11 years.
Loud, little loud, Rohina, little loud.
Okay, I am a Toastmaster since 11 years. And for me, now I'm actually a DTM, as a distinguished Toastmaster. That's the highest level you can do. I got that in 5 years. But what I want to do is I want to give back. I have not stopped going for meetings because our meetings are they're quite customized. You have to give speeches, prepared speeches. You have table topics where you are judged, to speak impromptu on the spot. And this year I actually qualified myself. I won the competition. I went to the district level where for table topics. So I am quite good at speaking off the cuff. I'm good with my gestures. I'm good with my body language because that's how I also picked up and now I want to give back. And for the past 10 years, I've been also teaching kids how to, be confident and do public speaking. Like they have to learn it from school, but school doesn't teach you that exactly. They will tell you to be a leader, but they won't teach you how to be a leader. So that was one of my posts I put today on LinkedIn because this is what I do. I keep writing content on public speaking, on leadership, and being a business coach, I try to even inculcate this habit for certain business owners because either they don't know how to effectively convey a message or how to lead. lead a team. That's what I do because of Toastmasters. But yes, I've written 2 books, by the way, but not on public speaking. My 2 books are basically on business coaching, as well as my first book is actually it's a link between laboratories and business. How laboratories can grow, how they can grow their business and have business growth. How they can double X their profits.
Just a moment, Rohina. Shubha, could you mute your mic, please? Because there's a lot of disturbance coming through. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Rohina, continue.
Yeah. So my second book is actually called Boss Up Beautiful. This was actually written for women. It's a nudge. It's for them to go ahead, not procrastinate, not think about tomorrow, do it today. And this I keep, showing at my Toastmasters conventions. They are all quite proud of me.
Awesome. Fantastic. So, yeah, Toastmaster is good. I mean, whoever I've come across, I've personally myself, I have not gone there. But I know that, the process and the way the feedback is given, and it's amazing. Whoever I've come across are really good. I've seen people evolve and change in their communication efforts, the presentations after Toastmasters.
Very true. Two things. If Rusby remembers, I was a very quiet and shy person. Remember Rusby? I was an introvert. I wouldn't ask questions. I wouldn't, communicate with you also. I became different after a few years. And one more thing that you mentioned about, grooming yourself wherever you go, or, carrying the deodorant and, because you don't know who you're going to meet. So that is one thing. I've learned grooming, the basics of grooming because of Rusby. I remember Rusby had, sent 1 or 2 of our students, our co-students, back either home to take a bath or go get a beard trimmed and come back to class. So yes, she's been strict, but that strictness has, taught us to become better in life. Thank you.
I think all the DCAs will tell you what they have undergone with me, because this is basic. This is basic.
In the early part of your career also, we go back 25, 30 years now, so I've seen that side. And people used to be scared, the students especially were terrified, but I think it was a good way, terrified in a good way, because you set the expectation so high that people really were pushed into doing better, and that's the sign of a good leader. So, in fact, I have some good slides on leadership also, in case anyone's interested. I could. You want me to take on words, or do we have time, or we are time up?
Yes, you do have about 20 minutes.
Okay, so what would you like me to take on? Subconscious languages patterns, or do you want me to take on leadership? Both are nice.
I would like you to have on everything next week also.
Let's see if I am. I think I should be on next week also. Monday I am not, but otherwise.
I would appreciate. I would learn to have itna hunger hai mere ko to learn more and more things from you.
Nazneen has raised her hands. Yes.
Little loud, Nasi, little loud. Are you muted or unmuted?
No. She was using a Bluetooth earphone, so now she is, I think, switching.
Okay.
Completely gone.
Yeah. Sir, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was going through your lecture and I realized it was very nice to you. On the same lines, sir, you have told us about the effective communication part of coming from our side. What it is from our side, from ourselves. I would like to have a class on, since you are offering so many classes and options, how to catch the other person's signal also. Like,
Yes.
You have already told us, sir, that how we can go ahead with the kind of communications and all from our side. Now, how to make the strategic move, our strategic moves and positivity, so that the ultimate outcome comes positive to us, so that we can understand the opposite person's signals also. So,
Okay.
if you can guide us in that, that will also help us, sir.
Okay, so in that case, what I'll do is I'll take the subconscious language patterns right now, because I'll take a few slides. That's a entire session in itself, 1 or 2 hour session. But I'll take a few just to let you understand, and it's actually picked up from a book which you can read. That book that will help you how to get people to do what you want them to do. That is what it
Correct,
is.
correct. Yes, because I believe, yes, because I believe that communication is most effective and it is most positive when you yourself are positive. So
Correct.
you should be able to send the signals and you should be able to receive the signals also. It's a two-way process. So
Can I
when you
interrupt? Can I interrupt?
yeah,
See, listen,
yes, yes,
Nazneen, what what you're talking about, I agree, but it takes years to develop, and you have to be sensitive to the person in front of you. you
yes,
the body language should tell you, like he's been at it. Is the person receptive to what you're saying, or is the person's body language says, to hell with you, I'm not interested? You have to pick it up, and this will only come with experience. It'll only come with experience. I think you're still too young. Jaldeep, you agree with me? One has to be a little aware of what the other chap is up to.
It could take time, but it's not so long drawn out. Also, there are now, if you see by experience on your own, it could take a long time. But if you there are a lot of resources available on body language. There is a author by the name of Joe Navarro, Joe Navarro, Joe Navarro. You can write down the name. What every body is saying. That is one of his books. He's a body language expert. He's a FBI. He's a retired ex-FBI person who has specialized in reading body language. So what you were exactly saying about how you want to read other people, this book is going to be just perfect for you. And it's not very expensive. I see on Amazon it's 392 rupees for the paperback. So that is a very good book, and there are many other books on body language if you search for it. But I think this one, Joe Navarro books, are usually you don't do well. You don't go wrong with. Okay, what I'll do is I'll quickly let me get into the other presentation. And, okay, so okay, now these are some of the language patterns. Although words are only 7% in communication, but that 7% can be extremely impactful if we use the words in the right sequence or statement, or where we slip through. I'll give you a few examples right now. Normally, if you ask a yes or no question, usually we are afraid, because chances of rejection are as much as the chances of saying yes. So it's a 50-50. You just toss a coin. But how can you put across your proposal or what you want to do in a way that the resistance is less and the chances of the person saying no is less, and the defenses are not high, and they listen to you completely. Okay, so this is, I have used English language patterns, but it can be convert it into any language. So get the essence of the meaning, whether we are talking in Gujarati or Marathi or any language, Hindi or whatever, the language patterns are what is important. For example, if you start, you know, one thing is we are afraid of being rejected. That if I ask and I get rejected. So if we start our statement by I'm not sure if it's for you, but I'm not sure if it's for you, what happens is it is rejection free. Just a minute. It's rejection free when the unconscious mind of the person is like, okay, he or she is not expecting a yes or no answer from me. So I am free to say yes, I'm free to say no, because the other person started, or because you started with, I am not sure if it's for you. So they pay more attention, they are more likely to hear you out and then give an answer which is more likely to be a yes than a no. But if you just say, can you do this or not? They might say no, because they don't want to say. For example, if it's say in a laboratory, you are having a special package offer. You want to upsell to a patient. Patient has come for a glucose test and you want to, ask them to do something more. I'm just giving an example. So if you were to say, oh, we have this health package, would you like to do that? Now, if we just say, why don't you do the health package? The chances are, no, I don't want to. But if you say, I'm not sure if it's for you, but we have this health package, which is having this. So the person is more likely to listen and weigh the pros and cons, and then chances of saying yes is much higher. Now, tell me one thing. How many of you here, this is a question to the participants right now on this call. How many of you are open-minded about listening to new ways of learning or learning new ways of communicating? How many of you are open-minded about learning new ways of communicating?
Myself.
Okay.
Didn't get the question. What do you mean by new way of communicating?
If there is a new way of communicating, if there's something new to learn in the field of communication, how many of us are open-minded about learning? Because some will say, no, I don't want to learn. So,
Oh, that's good. That's always good.
yeah.
I'm okay.
Okay, great. So this is again the way you start. If you want somebody to say yes to your proposal, this is another language pattern. These are called sleet of words. Sleet of mouth, sleet of hand is what we do. Magicians do. These are sleet of mouth, where we say that. So this was actually a trick question. The second phrase is open-minded. So when you ask somebody, are you open-minded about trying out something? Nobody wants to say I'm closed-minded, right? So I just demonstrated the effectiveness of this by asking you the question. It was just a very casual way, just to make you aware that these things might seem very simple and may not feel like as if will it really work, is it really having the impact, but it does. If you ask somebody, are you open-minded about coming to the party, or are you open-minded about watching this movie along with me, or are you open-minded about doing this task for somebody, or are you open-minded about charity if you are working for a charitable organization? Now the point is, the moment you say, are you open-minded, there is nobody in this world who will say, no, I am closed-minded, I don't want to. Very few. You might come across maybe 1% of the population who might say, no, I am closed-minded. 99% will say. So your chances of acceptance or getting things done is higher if you were to start by asking, are you open-minded about doing something? What do you want them to do? Right? So you are not telling them to do, you are asking them. If you tell them do this, chances are they will say no. If you ask them, they are more open. If you ask them by starting with, are you open-minded about doing this thing, chances are it will be, a success rate will be much higher. Now, this is actually a book that I picked up these examples from, these statements, and it's a beautiful book. I'll give you the name of the book at the end, so you can refer to the book also. I mean, there are about 25-30 examples in this. I don't think I'll be able to cover more than 5 or 6 in the remaining time. The third one is, if you want somebody to take action, to do something, the question is, how would you feel if you start by saying, how would you feel? Now, normally most people use the left brain logic. Now, the right brain is about the emotion and the feeling. So you are getting them connected to the right brain, and their chances of saying yes is more. This is again very subconscious language patterns. Appear very simple, but they are very, very effective. How would you feel if the decision led to your promotion? How would you feel if your competition passed you by? You know, you are left behind. How would you feel? So if there's a person in the laboratory, in your team, who's a laggard, who's not really very serious, not working, or not always focused. I mean, one way is, you should, you are not paying attention, you will discuss all that, and then how would you feel if you got left behind or you got overlooked for the promotion? That indirectly you're giving the message in a very strong way that take action, otherwise you will get left behind. So, but it is being conveyed in a very soft way and in a subconscious way where it hits them without you really being aggressive or having to be aggressive. How would you feel if we turned around this situation? So there is something where things are not going right and we need to turn it around. How would you feel? It motivates somebody. Somebody is very depressed, things are not going in the right way. It could be very well children at home, if you are a parent and children at home and they are a little demotivated, and so they are a little dejected. So how would you feel if you turned it around? So, yes, let's do that. How can we do that? They get again excited. So these are ways where you start your statement. The fourth one is, just imagine, if you start certain situations where you want them to visualize, you want them to imagine. And as we know, everything happens twice, once first in your mind and then it happens in reality. So you want it to happen in reality, you have to make it happen in their mind first. So when you start by saying, just imagine, you are making them see that thing happening in their mind. Just imagine if you bought this lottery ticket and you won the lottery. You are actually making it. Just imagine if you were to win the lottery. That will make them, chances of them buying a lottery ticket will multiply several fold, just because they have imagined themselves if they win the lottery. So just imagine if you won the lottery and what would you do with all the money? You make them imagine and then you get them to take action. So just imagine how things will be in 6 months' time once this action is taken. Or just imagine what your boss would say if you missed this opportunity. Or just imagine how much impact this could have. So using the words in the right patterns is very, very critical. This gets a little difficult unless you really think about it, practice it. It's a little dry for me to really talk about it, and really without too many examples or discussion. This is a session which I would take probably over a full day, a live classroom session where we'll have workshops and have activities. That's when the learning really happens. So, but I'm just exposing you to things that are available, resources which are available, which can make your communication more impactful. So, suppose I mean, like today afternoon, there was one of my colleagues who called up and said, "Sir, this is the third time I have gone to this customer, and every time I go, the customer is not available. They are always busy, not meeting, refusing to meet. What should I do?" I said, just ask them when would be a good time to meet. If you ask somebody, are you free to talk to me? You might get a no answer. But if you say, when would be a good time, is indirectly you are saying, I respect your time, you might be busy right now, so you might say no now. But when you say, when would be a good time, you are not giving them a chance to say no. Because it's very unlikely that somebody will say never. When will be a good time to talk to you for 10 minutes? Nobody is going to say never. I mean, somebody has to be seriously angry with you and really dislike you a lot to respond by saying never. Chances are they say, okay, talk now only, come on, wait here. They might have said, I'm busy, this, that, so okay, fine. When would be a good time to talk? So you are assuming that there is no yes. And I mean, there's no is not an option, it has to be a yes. So when you pre-assume that, the other person is more likely to say yes, or they can say, okay, can you come tomorrow morning at this time or afternoon at this time, or they might very likely say, let's finish this up right now. Can you wait for 15 minutes? I will see you after 15 minutes once I finish this. So rejection free. This statement is again designed to avoid rejection. So like this, there are a lot of, there's a whole art and science behind this language patterns. If anyone of you have heard about neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, it works on these language patterns. I'll just go into this. I think time up, and we can take a couple of minutes of discussions. I will stop sharing, and if you have any doubts on this. Sorry?
Little.
Your voice is again fading out, not coming out very clear.
Yeah, Nazdin, you were saying something?
Sir, which was the first one? I got how would are you open, just imagine, and when is the good time? Which was the first one, sir?
First one was, I am not sure if it's for you, but.
Wow. Okay, yeah, correct. I'm not sure. Achha, very nice.
Not sure if it's for you. Let me.
Okay, I'm not sure. Correct.
No, I am not sure is not enough. I am not sure if it's for you.
Yes, correct. So I got 5.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you please repeat? One is, I'm not sure. Can you
Sure, I'll repeat that. So what I'll also do is I'll give you the name of the book, which has about 25-30 of these. So, yeah. So the first one is, I'm not sure if it's for you, but ... So then you make your statement. So it is a way in which there is no risk of rejection. So chances are the person knows that there is no risk of rejection. I can reject if I want to. The chances of them listening to you completely is much higher. The second one is, are you open-minded about it? So if you want them to do something, so the way you phrase the question, it's about being, are you open-minded about it? The third is, how would you feel if... Now this is designed to motivate the other person into action by either making them visualize something that is negative or something that is positive. So how would you feel if you got over or you got asked for a promotion? It's like indirectly saying, if you don't get a promotion, how would you feel? So you need to do this. Or it could be the other way, how would you feel if we turned around this situation and we succeed? Both ways. So it is getting people into taking action. The fourth one is just imagine. So we start by saying just imagine if this was the situation. So you are making them visualize. So this is like things happen in your mind once and then it comes into reality. So you are making things happen by using this statements. And for Rohina, I think this will be as a Toastmaster piece statement. I think Rohina, for you, this book, you really need to get this book. It's if you haven't already got it, it's an incredible book. So
Please let me know. I was waiting for the name.
okay. Let me get you the name. This is the book, Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones.
Okay. That's the name of the book, huh?
Yeah, exactly. This is the book cover.
Okay.
This is the book cover. It's available on Amazon. The paperback is 237 rupees in India. Kindle is also 237 rupees. Audiobook is 347 rupees. Quite low cost. It's a small book. It's I might even have it here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's here. This is a book, and it's not a very thick book. It's how many 100? Yeah, about 130 pages.
What is the name of the author?
Phil Jones.
Phil?
Phil, Phil Jones. Jones.
Phil Jones.
Exactly What to Say. I have taken a few. There are, I think, about 27, 28 of these statements. And Phil Jones' books are also good. Like Joe Navarro is good for body language. Phil Jones is very good for language patterns.
Thank you. I will definitely look it up.
Sure.
Jaldeep, I think it should be renamed How to be Diplomatic in Most Situations.
To be diplomatic in
Most situations. And how not to hurt somebody.
Okay, now what I would propose, I have a proposal. The rules is maybe next Thursday, if everyone, the audience has the time, participants have the time, I could take one bonus lecture on leadership skills. Because I think everyone, I think leadership is not only at workplace, but even at home, in families, how to become a leader, what are our thinking and what we can do to how we can become better leaders in every aspect of life.
How many are willing from here? How many willing?
Nazneen has raised her hand before this, so I don't know if it's before this or it is something else. Shubha ma'am is saying yes. Yeah, everyone is yes, okay. Yes, Nazneen, you had something to say? You raise your hand.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this leadership you can take next week, sir, because I need time. I want to sit for the lectures with the proper time, and 26 is my audit. But I want to listen to your full lectures.
Yeah.
So we can have some more lectures from you, sir.
Next Thursday is what I'm proposing for leadership. Is that fine with you? Works for
Yes,
you?
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Rules, does it
Sure,
work
sure.
in your calendar? Because you have to see. If you do you have any other new batches
Wait.
starting or do you
Camp
have
is
a
what?
gap?
Wait. Camp is what?
Just check.
30 and 1st. What
This
is
week
it?
only.
Huh?
This week only. After on Tuesday, 30 and 31st, no?
Coming week is 30 and 31st. You want it next week, right? Thursday.
I can do any time. Next Monday I'm not available, but I can do even
No,
tomorrow.
Tuesday and Wednesday we have a camp. So Tuesday, Wednesday is out. Thursday suits us. What is the date on
Friday is
Thursday?
also okay with me.
Huh?
Friday is also okay with me. Friday.
Thursday is normally because these lectures are every Thursday. So if you have some other
Yeah, correct.
day, then
2nd
we
July.
can do it on Friday. Otherwise, we can do it on
2nd
Thursday.
July. 2nd July.
Perfect.
2nd July. Okay, guys.
Yeah. That is next
I'll put it on the. I'll keep it open for whoever wants to join.
Okay, so that's Thursday.
What is
next
that leadership? What you want to name it? Leadership?
Yeah, leadership. I'll keep it open. Leadership. I'll take some.
But such a leadership what? Communications? No.
Leadership lessons.
Leadership lessons in communication. In communication. No.
It is in life, for life.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Can I involve my staff also? 4-5 members of my
Yeah,
staff.
sure.
It's okay.
The most welcome.
Yeah,
Promote
we can
everyone.
all because we have staff coming in and out, and these are all young people, less than 30, 35 like that. So they need to be guided also. So if it's okay,
Fine.
okay, sir.
Most welcome. Everyone. I mean, any one of you, if people are at home, you want to involve your children or your family members, most welcome. As long as Roos is a boss, so Roos says you take Roos's permission, I'm okay.
Jaldeep, I'm going to open it up because we've got a hematology section, we've got an immunology section, chemistry walas. I'm going to open it to them. These guys are there in every section, but there are others who haven't joined.
Soft skills, I think you should open to everyone. So all the batches that you are taking, all the sections. Yeah. So next week on leadership lessons, it's again leadership lessons. My talk is going to be based on a very small book. It's a beautiful book. I'll give you the name of the book later on. At the end of it next week, you can refer to that.
But hello, are you free? I'm not traveling.
No,
Jaldeep.
next week I'm not. Monday I'm traveling to Surat, but I'm back the same evening. Then I'm traveling from Sunday onwards. So Thursday I'm fine.
Okay.
Cool. Chalo
Thank
then.
you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Tara.
Thank you.
Tara.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.